I'm never here to tell you what to believe. Um, you're free to listen. And this is what this channel is all about. You can even question if you like. Um, and just take what resonates. If you are in a situation where you're struggling in life, with whatever it is, especially, yes, if it's eventually manipulation, control, which is kind of rooted in the system we're living in. But if it's more extreme in relationship with friends or colleagues or a boss, but obviously with connections that are closer, it's more extreme. So it could be your partner, and yes, as well, family members. There's probably a lot that you're trying to figure out, and especially if you're dealing with certain types of what they call abuse, which could be psychological abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse, and there are all kind of labels: narcissism, psychopath, borderline, this and that. But this is very scientific or clinical, and it has borders, but there's a lot of overlap. So on this channel, I'm not going into those labels, because it's actually pretty. It's more simple to define what you're dealing with than you might think, and trying to figure it out on your own and going online with all the different opinions and insights, you can really get lost, and that can be already a study on its own. And I don't want you to get lost in that, because many do, and then eventually you end up seeking that one video that exactly matches your situation. And then still, if you're dealing with this, there will be a lot of confusion, hesitation, fear, anxiety to actually make a step, and then you just keep looping and searching for more confirmation without taking a step. And there's something like this. Yeah, it's very important to gain knowledge so you have enough clarity to eventually take a step. But the full clarity only comes after. Especially when you're dealing with these kind of dynamics, abusive dynamics, when your confidence is low, when people might have confused you intensely and twisted things around and made you distrust yourself or question yourself. That's what I actually mean to say. And then it really comes down to, okay, I need some guidance, and it's hard to find the right person in your area where you can have enough guidance in the moment you need it. And just once a week a talk, it's not enough, because after the talk you go back to your situation and you get consumed by it again, and then maybe a week later you have a talk again. So the progress is very slow, even if there is any, and especially again when you're dealing with this type of abuse. But even in other life challenges, sometimes you need to take a step, but then fear and doubt kicks in, and often that's actually the confirmation that you should take it. Okay, let's say the brain is working against you. Others would say that's the enemy, but only if you take that step, even if it's trembling feet, you will be rewarded. Doors will open, unexpected opportunities. You will meet people that you never could imagine from here that you would meet. And now we're talking about faith. So there will be a lot about that here on this channel as well. Not only about removing confusion when you have it and getting clarity what you're dealing with and if it's abuse or not, so you can make decisions from within. I'm never here to tell you what to do. After a lived experience, let's say a lifetime, and then over 8 years of education, I went through it with trial and error, and I'm happy I did. So I can give back now to you so you don't have to spend a decade on figure it out on your own. And this is how we should work through in life. Don't try to figure it out all on your own, but if you find that right person, and maybe it's not me, maybe it's somebody else that can guide you and that can give you the steps. And yes, some situations are less urgent than the others. If you're dealing with psychological, emotional, mental abuse, or any of the labels that people talk about, there is more urgency. It is, in a sense, now let's rephrase that, it is that detrimental to your health, to your mental state, your physical. Don't underestimate that, and I don't want to scare you. And then I jump into listen to your body. Sometimes over years you get used to the stress, the pain, the tension, and you becomes your new normal, and you can only feel it once you step out of it, and how things can be so different. But then again, taking that step is not immediately going to release the pain. There is a lot of stuff that's going to come up, so you will need guidance when you take that step eventually from a place of more clarity, and that's what my mission here as well, to provide you that. And so you have enough to take a necessary step, and maybe a step that you've been postponing or afraid to take, that you finally do. There will be immense pain coming up in that moment, and that's where many people either or stay or fall back and go back, because they think, oh, it's actually worse than I was still in there. But trust me, soon after that will lessen and eventually disappear. And then you will be free. Whether if you would stay, it will just slowly accumulate more and more and more until it becomes even harder to leave. And I always say, the longer you stay, the harder it becomes to leave. So wherever you are in your journey, if you know already what you're dealing with, but it's just you feel it's impossible, you made a story, it's not for me, probably meant to endure this. No, you're not. Then maybe you're not sure yet what you're dealing with, and you're in the right place too. And for those that have left, and that could be recently or for many years already, but still you're going looping back, and you're still not really opening up to everything that's meant for you, then this is for you too. I'm gonna end this video now. This is more an introduction. Thank you for that. Wake up video. And I welcome you and invite you to walk with me for a while. And if it resonates, then I suggest stay, because there will be a lot more. With much love, and wherever you are, I'm here. I hold you. You're not alone anymore. And there is a path, and often a path that's an unexpected, but it will bring the most beautiful things, and eventually into your visions and dreams you had before you might have forgotten. You'll eventually get there, but it's a process. It's not a race to a finish line and then you have happiness. No, the process will become your happiness, because every step you take aligned in the right direction will give you that energy and divine force you need, and the joy. So there's a lot of trust involved as well, but we start slow and go at your own pace. But stay committed. If this feels right for you, I need to say repetition is important, because it's easy to lose yourself again in the situations where you are. So come back every time you feel the nudge. I really recommend that. And that's it for now. We'll talk soon again. Bye-bye.